Welcome to the Backyard Machine Shop. Well, today we're still working on the machine rescue, the New Haven lathe, and I've got the headstock in here now. Typically I've been pulling these things apart and kind of showing you after the fact, so this one we're going to pull apart on camera. Now, to let you know something, I've already taken these caps off one time before, because when I got it, that superstructure that was mounted on here was mounted and bolted down with these bolts. So we're going to go ahead and take it apart. And I've actually looked at this rear bearing a little bit, so I got an idea what it's going to look like. So hold on a minute and we'll get started. So the first thing we're going to take off, I'm going to go ahead and take this back gear off. Now, I've already been working on these bolts. These were the ones that were giving me the most trouble taking it apart the other day. So, but I've worked on them. I've got an impact wrench on them, and with the right driver, and we got them loose. So I'm going to go ahead and finish taking them off. And I haven't looked inside these caps yet, but I have got all the bolts broken loose. Now, I set this thing up here. This headstock probably weighs 1,000 pounds. It was all I could do to put it up here. You know, hurt my back and everything, but nah. I put it up here with the engine hoist, and it was all that little engine hoist could do to pick it up and get it up here. All right, so right now we're going to break this rear cap, and this drives a whistle. Well, here's the rear cap. All right, let's see about this one, which that don't do anything but engage the back gear. Yep, no wonder I couldn't turn it. Alright, so now I need to get this thing out of here. I might not be able to pick it up, let's see. Alright, let me give it a dead blow. Well, before I take it out, let's look at how this thing works. And this shaft's an eccentric shaft, so as you turn it this way, it rolls and pulls away, and as you feed it in, it'll engage the shaft. So I got it loose now. Let's let's see what we can get in here. Here we go. Now we got it coming off. It's just a little tight fit. There we go. Alright. Alright. So now we can get into here, these gears. Now these bearings, these are casted bronze bearings, inside and out. And on this rear one, the inside is split. So, not sure how this outer one will come off. So what I'm going to do now, I've already worked on this some. Probably need to go get a wire brush to it and some lubricant. So just stay tuned. Got a casted bronze bearing, and I'm assuming this is going to be a thrust, this big nut. And I've got it broke loose, but it gets a little tight. So we're going to come in here and we're going to clean it up a little bit better. We can get this thing apart relatively easy. All right, we got a little bit of our diesel and antifreeze. I mean not antifreeze, but ATF solution there, and we're gonna try to spin this thing off. And let's see, I got this strap wrench. And what I'm hoping, if we get this off, like I said, I've had this bearing apart, or at least the split portion out of it, but I wasn't sure how the solid portion come out, and I think it comes out with this thrust here. Whoa. Huh. Well, we're going to have to dig in there and see what we got. I'm going to leave it alone. This whole end shaft's turning, so we'll dig in there and see what we got. All right. Got to explain something I saw inside. Let's go ahead and break this cap off. Like I said, I've had these off. I bolted them back down. Now, I mentioned earlier in the videos, in one of the other videos, that I think we can make we can bore these bearings. And the reason I say that, they're shimmed, and this one the shim's not in it. But these caps are shimmed, and these bearings are proud of the surface. So I think there's some room to bore them, put them back together, bore them, and then just shim them a little lower. I'll show you what I'm talking about on the front bearing. Now, one of the things that's cool about this old lathe is all the bolts, and I'll get one and show you later, but you can see it a little bit on this one. All the bolts were turned between centers. There's centers in both sides of the bolts. Even the hexagon bolts, all of them were turned between centers and made specifically, I guess, for this, by hand, with his lathe. See, there's a center there, and then there's a center on that end. Okay, so this cap should come right off. All right, so now here's our casted bearing, and I was expecting to have some kind of a Babbitt bearing in here, but when I pulled it apart and seen they were cast bronze, I was kind of proud. Okay, we just got to figure out how to get it out of here. Let's see. Here we go. Alright, so here's one of our bearings, and like I said, I didn't even clean them up. Yeah, there's some scoring in there, and not completely happy with what I got, but all right. So this is your thrust. All right. So how's that working? I'm going to have to check that out. Different than anything I've ever seen. All right, so here's our bearing, And right in here, this is where that threaded portion in the back of the shaft is actually threaded into the bearing. So we need to figure out what that is. You know, the bearing ain't really that bad. It looked bad, worse till I really cleaned it up. Other than that portion right there. Alright, so that's the rear bearing. How does that come out? It must be part of the bottom. Bet you that's what it is. The whole casting is the bottom bearing. Alright, so let's take the front one off now. I have not even looked at the front one. Let me go get her. Like I said, I haven't taken this one apart, so the shims are still in there. Now I still haven't got the flange off, and the reason I'm tearing this down so early is to just let this, one of the viewers suggested letting this soak, and I agree with them. All we can do to get this thing apart, when it comes time to take it apart, we need to do now. So. Like I said, I hadn't even taken this cap off yet. This is the first time I'm even breaking this cap. So, alright. And here's one of the shims. This is what I was talking about, the shims. The other one fell down there. It looks like it's about an 1/8 inch shim. And now see the front. Front's a little different. split one all the way. The rear one's not. So, I really don't like trying this thing. Rig this. We may have to rig it on the ends. I'm going to try to choke it right here. I don't know if I got enough travel to choke it there. All right, guys. So got the spindle out. Everything's looking okay for as old as it is. There's a little wear here in the spindle. I mean, some grooving, very slight though. It actually doesn't look bad at all. See if I can zoom you in a little bit. Okay, if you look, a little bit of grooving right there. There's a little more, looks like on the top. However, there is some transfer on the shaft, and I'll show you that in a second. But anyway, front bearing looks pretty good. I think we could use it like it is. Let's go over to the shaft here. Let's look at it. All right, so we're over at the shaft now. Now the rear journal or the rear spindle, it looks real good. There's a little bit on the end, but I think that was in that area where that thread is. It's like they might have the thread may have chewed on it a little bit, but most part it's in good shape. However, right in here, I see some transfer. There's some pitting, and it's like it had gotten hot, and some transfer of the brass spindle into the spindle. So it may just need to be polished out. I think it's okay other than that. We'll work on it. I'll snap some photos of it. All right, guys, so we got it that far along. I'm okay with the bearings. I think they're going to be all right. I hope we don't, I can't afford to make new ones, but those look pretty good. I think the shaft will polish out. Once we get it all apart, we'll see what that's going to do. Rear bearing looks good. I still haven't figured out how to get these castings out of the bottom part of the castings out. I think they just come out. They've just been in there a while and they're a little stiff. Need to finish taking apart the tailstock or the headstock. Still got some gear train in here. This is reversing gears to take apart. This shouldn't be too bad. Anyway, all right, guys. There you have it. Like I said, I'll get some photos of these bearings and put some stills up where you can see what's going on. I'm happy for the most part of what's happened, what it looked like. I'm a little concerned about the bronze being deposited on the spindle a little bit, but I think that'll polish out and I think we'll be fine. I don't see really a need to probably make more bearings. I think this would be great for what this machine will be used for. One of the concerns I had when I first pulled it off was these threads. I thought that was we had been gouging, but actually this bearing is threaded to receive that thrust bushing. So, you know, that's good. I didn't realize that to start with, but that's great. I mean, it looks like we'll be okay. I was looking for a tapered shaft, but we don't have a tapered shaft, so that's good too. Well, anyway, I want to thank all my new subscribers, all my old subscribers, and everyone that leaves comments. I try to answer every one of them, and I really enjoy reading them. There's been some really good advice, and I'm taking a lot of that to heart. So somebody has suggested that I take and soak this shaft until I'm ready to work on it, and that's why I went ahead and pulled this unit apart. Plus, I'm curious. I wanted to see, and I didn't realize how heavy this thing was until I had to put it up here. Like I said, I'm guessing probably 1,000 pounds, maybe a little less, and you know, that's a lot. You're dealing with headstocks that you can pick up usually. This thing's heavier than some of the machines I use in this shop. So, again, subscribers, thank you. New subscribers and old, and guys, thanks for leaving the comments. So, I think on the next video we're probably going to look at the apron. I'm not going to take it apart right now. I'm not going to take it apart until I'm ready to do something, but we'll look at it. And there's a couple other things that I meant to show you in the last video that I didn't get to show you, so we'll look at that. The Pratt Whitney, you know, it's ready for paint. We'll get it painted, and it won't be long. We'll start. We need to do an update on it. So, and then the shaper. I don't know when I'm going to start the shaper. Right now I got too many projects going on, and the shaper will probably wait to the end. So as far as conditioning of ways on the lathe, you know, they're not in great shape. They're not in bad shape, as bad as they looked, but they're not in great shape. So I'm still trying to decide what to do with it, whether just to clean them up and try to hand scrape them in a little bit, or you know, just clean them up and use them, or maybe set up a campaign on GoFundMe or something like that. I've got a Patreon account, but I think I got it set up right, but and you know, if somebody wants to donate, that's great. You know, you don't have to. I hate to even ask for it. So, but the more funds I can generate, the further we can take this along and take along some of the other machines that we need to do. So, you might look for me asking for that in the future. Right now, I'm still up in the air about how I want to proceed. I do know that I wish I had been in that scraping class that Keith and all had down in there, and I'd learned a little bit. And maybe the next time I'll get to go. So, other than that, hey guys, thanks. I'm rambling on again. And till next time from the Backyard Machine Shop, so long.